Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Jack Foote, who recently won his fight on Cage Warriors 199. Hello, Jack. How are you?
Yes, all good, mate. Yourself?
I'm good. And actually, in your last fight, it was a few weeks ago, you defeated a really good fighter who actually right now is 2-0, but of course, it's much better than this. And if you can tell me, how happy are you that you were able to not only defeat but also submit a really good fighter?
Yeah, so I'm over the moon with my performance, mate. Brennan was number one amateur in the UK before he turned professional. So I don't think, if I'm right, I don't think he'd ever been finished before either. So if I wanted to make a statement, I had to go and get a finish, and that's what I done. So over the moon, mate. I'm now in a great place heading into 2026.
And of course he got some good moments in this fight. And were you in any point of the fight like afraid a little bit that he may be a little bit tougher fighter?
No, I knew I respected his skill set. I seen that he likes to jump all of that stuff, but I was surprised when he got it. But when I was actually stuck in the triangle, I felt cool. I was fine. I just knew that I couldn't let him extend my arm. I was pretty comfortable that I wasn't getting choked. So my main focus was don't let him get my arm. Just bide my time, and I knew my time to escape would come. And then it was just the tide shifted for there.
And also earlier in 2025, you won your first fight, pro fight. It was your debut. It was also another submission, and
Yeah,
actually it was like another super exciting fight because a lot of things happen in this fight. And
yeah.
actually, I think that you showed that because sometimes the situation can break a little bit a fighter, and in this fight you showed that you have this experience, you have this kind of toughness, that you have this kind of dog that you can beat tough situations. So probably it also was a good confirmation for you.
100%. These two fights I've had on Cage Warriors have been like massive, kind of like it's been a massive like I've proved myself massively. Do you know what I mean? I've showed what I'm about. I don't come to just wrestle and just hug people. Like I come to put on exciting fights. Like I wouldn't be happy with myself. My number one priority is obviously to win, but I wouldn't be happy with myself winning a boring fight. I know I need to come in and bring the excitement if I want to have a good career. So that's exactly my main focus when I go in there is just go for it and whatever happens, happens. I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid to get beat or anything like that, mate. So when you go in without the fear of losing, you can just be free, mate. And that's kind of how my fights end up turning into quite wild fights.
And of course, you are like a really good striker, but you have two submissions. So if you can tell me, are you more comfortable in the stand-up department or on the ground?
I'm comfortable everywhere, mate. That's what my coach always says to me before we go out. We never make strict game plans. He believes I'm a great striker. He believes I'm a great grappler, and he says just go with the flow. Wherever the fight goes, you're confident, you're good, you're well equipped. So I think it's like I started with striking. That was my first kind of martial arts base was striking. But my grappling's caught up to a level now where I don't need to worry about getting taken down because I've got good submissions. So wherever the fight goes, mate, I'm happy. I'm extremely. I can fight off my back. I can fight on top of someone. I can fight on the feet. Just wherever it goes, I'm comfortable.
Yes, and actually for me, Donald Cerrone was this kind of fighter that he was a vicious striker, but in the end he got more submissions than knockouts, and he showed that he can be dangerous everywhere.
100%. That's a good comparison. Anytime you get compared to a legend like that, that's a massive feather in your cap. You know what I mean? So that's the way you want to be. If you're fighting MMA, you shouldn't have anywhere that you don't want to be. You shouldn't fight MMA and think, "Oh, I can't go to my back," or you shouldn't fight MMA and go, "I can't strike longer in a minute. I need to get this to the ground," because that just creates panic within yourself. So you panic, you make a mistake. You make a mistake. It could be you left unconscious. So you've got to be comfortable and confident in yourself wherever it goes. In my opinion.
And after your fights, do you like to rewatch them just to see what kind of things can you do better next time?
I've probably watched all my fights back about 50 times, mate. Like, I absolutely love them. So, it's the first thing I done. Like, I celebrated, went back through the back, and it was the first thing we done. We went back, sat in the change rooms, me and my team, probably about 50 minutes after I'd fought, and loaded up UFC Fight Pass, rewinded it, and just watched my fight back straight away. So, yeah, I'm very critical of myself. I like to look back, see what I've done well, see what I've done wrong. If you're not doing that, you're never going to improve. So, yeah, I always watch my fights back and try and learn as much from it as possible.
And when do you think you will fight next? So in what time?
I think April. April's a good date. So I'm hoping that Cage Warriors come back to Glasgow, and I'm hoping to get a spot in the main card if they do come back to Glasgow. But April's a good time of the year for me to fight. So I've got a trip coming up. I'm away to Canada a week today. Fly out there for 6 weeks. So going to use that as a bit of a pre-camp. But I don't need to worry about fitness so much when I'm over there. And I'm just going to really focus on skill development over there. And then when I come back, getting like a 6 week camp, get the fitness back up, and then I'll be ready to rumble in April.
And actually, I saw that you like visited a lot of teams like TriStar, Next Gym, and
Yeah.
Next Gen, like Bangtao, a lot of really high level gyms. And
Yeah.
uh, what do you think is like the biggest benefit, like for now, for your perspective for now, from the previous camps or the trainings that you did in these gyms?
So I come from a small gym in Scotland, mate. So I'm like the only person that's really chasing a professional career in mixed martial arts. So when I'm going to do my MMA training, I like just traveling and looking at the best training I can possibly get, mate. So I'm very lucky to have these gyms open their doors for me and let me in. Especially TriStar Next Generation. I mean, I went over to TriStar this time last year. I'm going back over again for 6 weeks. So I'm very lucky that Faraz lets me in and I get to train with all the guys there. Same with Paul Rimmer down at Next Generation. That's brilliant. That's only like 4 hours down the road. So I can drive up and down there whenever. That's not a big travel at all. So very thankful to all the teams that let me come in and train with them. Because it's very beneficial to my improvement as well. So yeah.
So for your like regular gym, your main gym, you can be like the link between the top level gyms and the smaller gym. That you can take this kind of big knowledge and be a little bit like the coach for other fighters.
Yeah, 100%. So it's great. Like I've got amazing coaches here at the gym that I've got. I just struggle with the mixed martial arts training partners. And obviously when I go away, I learn things. I come back, I show them, and it just helps improve everyone. So if I can pick, I'll pick. It's my favourite thing to talk about, me. Like if I'm standing there with a coach and they're willing to give me 20 minutes of their time that I can just pick their brain, I'm going to use all 20 of the minutes, mate. I'll never run out of a question. And I think you've got to be that way if you want to improve. So I'm just picking little bits from everywhere I go, seeing what works for me and just improving as much as I can every day.
And do you sometimes also travel to countries, but it's like more of the like vacation, and you still try to find some gym just to do some sessions?
Yeah, I mean, if I don't train for like 2 days, I start to lose my mind and I almost feel itchy if I've not trained. So, yeah, when I go away on holidays and trips that aren't training trips, I will always find a gym as well and try and get a bit of training in there. It's always good to enjoy it. It's nice changing up your training environment now and again. Gives you almost like a nice wee refresh. So, yeah, anytime I go anywhere, even on a holiday, I'll try find somewhere to train. Even if I say I'm not going to, because I'll go away on holidays and say, nah, I'm not going to train. I'm just going to rest. And then 2 days in, I'm looking up the best gym in the place that I'm and going and training.
And how old were you when you decided that this can be your career, that you would like to pursue this kind of dream?
I kind of almost just fell into it, mate. So I started training mixed martial arts when I was 19, so I was quite late to the sport. Uh, but I had my first fight. So my first couple of fights were Muay Thai fights. So I had my first one, and I lost the decision. And like, it was never something that I thought I was going to do long term. And I was like, right, okay, I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to win it. And I just want to feel what it's like to win one of these. And then I had my second Muay Thai fight, and I won that one. And I was, this amazing, man. I just want to do this for the rest of my life now. So that was kind of the point that I decided this is what I'm going to really try and do and chase a career. My main kind of thing for it as well, mate. I love training. There's nothing more I enjoy doing than training. So that is my only really responsibility on this world, is to train and get better. Like, I don't have kids, I don't have mortgages or anything like that. So I have zero adult responsibilities, mate. So I just get to train full time, and that's my life now. So I would rather this than be working a job that I wasn't happy with but making loads of money. You know what I mean? I'm living my best life, mate. So I absolutely love it.
And at the beginning, were your like parents a little bit afraid that you want to be a pro MMA fighter?
Yeah, a little bit. Whenever my gran's a panic merchant, so my dad was like, right, don't tell your gran that you're fighting. And I was like, right, okay. And then obviously it started escalating. Went from one fight, two fight. You've had 10 fights. Now you're a professional. Now it's your job. So I got to right, we're going to need to tell your gran what you do now. But yeah, no, my mum actually loves it. you would think it's the opposite way around. Like I think my dad gets a lot more nervous than what my mum does, but my mum absolutely loves it. Like you can, I've heard my mum in every single one of my fights. She's mental. She's if she could be in my corner, my mum would probably try and be in my corner. So aye, she loves it. My dad's nervous, but they love what I'm doing. I'm doing something positive, so they're really happy.
And about your like goals in the sport, because like many fighters, like main goal is to go to the UFC. And do you have also this kind of dream? And if yes, what is like the timeline for this?
100%. It's the UFC that I'm going to. 100%, mate. There's zero doubts in my mind about that. So, obviously, even before I started training MMA, when I was like 14, 15, 16, I was watching UFC. So, there's no other place that you want to go and fight than the UFC. So, the way I see it, my timeline, I can do another 2, 3 years in Cage Warriors, just keep racking up the wins, racking up the experience. And when my coaches think I'm ready, I'm sure the call will come and I'll make my jump.
Yes, and actually, I think that when you fight in Cage Warriors is probably the best place for you when you are in Europe, because even like sometimes prelims are super packed with big talents, and of course they can be like 0-0 or 1-0. But if you dig a little bit deeper with the like amateur records, you can see that they are really experienced fighters. So when you can go through Cage Warriors and I don't know, maybe get to the title, it means that definitely you are ready for the some bigger things.
100%. The competition's tough in Cage Warriors. It's going to get you battle ready for the UFC. And if you're European, it's your best route there. By far your best route there. I mean, if you look at probably 80% of the guys, well, definitely from the UK, I'd say over 80% of the guys that are in the UFC from the UK, they all fought in Cage Warriors. There's maybe the odd one or two that didn't and they came from elsewhere, but majority of them come from Cage Warriors. It's a proven, it's almost like a recipe now. You go through Cage Warriors, you win the belt in Cage Warriors, you go to the UFC, then you have a successful career in the UFC. You've seen it time and time again now. So I'm the path's there. There's many guys that have walked that path before me. So just go and following all the other fighters for the UK that have done it.
And about your next fight, do you have any like preferences that maybe you want to fight against another prospect, maybe a little bit like more battle tested guy, maybe some style do you have in mind? Do you have this kind of things in your head?
I would like to give up some experience, mate. I would like to just. I don't want to just keep fighting guys about my experience because it's then obviously going to take longer to get to the belt and move on to the UFC and things like that. So I feel like I'm ready to take on anyone, mate. So I would like to give up some experience and really have a kind of like a wow fight, a fight where people are kind of because I know how good I am. My coaches and training partners know how good I am. I think it's just time to announce to everybody else how good I am. So a step up in competition would be good for that.
Yes, and even some fighters with the record like 8-6 or something around this are really dangerous fighters, because of course they lost few fights, but in the end they have a longer career. They know some veteran tricks. So if you can beat a guy who got like 3 or 4 times more fights than you, it's also always a impressive thing.
100%, mate. Experience is invaluable, so you've always got to respect somebody that's had that many fights. But I had a long amateur career myself. I feel like I'm a young veteran in the game as well, so I've got plenty of experience. Even though I've had 2 professional fights, it's not my. I'm not early in my career now. You know what I mean? I've learned a lot of lessons through my own experiences as well, so I'm ready to take them on.
And if you can take any tool from any fighter right now and add to your current skill set, which kind of tool would you like to take?
You would like to take the IQ of John Jones. I think if it was any other answer, you've made a mistake there. That guy's undefeated and had over probably 30 professional fights now, champion of the world for so long. So if you could take his IQ, his fight smart, then that's that's one thing I'd be taking.
And do you think that the fight against Tom Aspinall will happen in the future?
I don't think so, nah. I would hope so. I would really hope so, but I don't think so. I think John's the type of guy, he doesn't need the money. His legacy's good. You know what I mean? He's undefeated. I don't think he needs to risk that. So I would be surprised. I would love for it to happen, but I'd be surprised.
Yes, I would agree that probably it's not the biggest chance, but I think that this fight will be super cool. And of course, like Jones is such a big legend that even that Thomas Pinal is like unstoppable right now. I think that John definitely would have tools to not only beat him, but probably like finish him too.
100%. I think, especially after the last, I think the big reason John didn't want to fight him was because there's no footage. John's the type of guy that studies everybody's fight footage, and that's how he builds his game plan. So, yeah, maybe now that he's got an extra round there, he's got a full round to study him, maybe he will. But I think it's more likely he fights Alex Pereira. If he's going to fight anybody, I think it's going to be Pereira. At the end of the day, he's had that long a career. He was the champ for so long. He can do whatever he wants. There's nothing that anybody can say, really. So, if that's the fight he wants, I say give him that fight.
And if you can be a matchmaker for one night and book the UFC White House main event, which kind of fight would you like to book with the fighters who are on the current UFC roster?
Give me McGregor versus Charles Oliveira. That's a headliner.
It's a good one, and Charles will fight for the BMF title, so maybe there is some chance.
Yeah, 100%. I think anybody with any kind of belt, Connor's going to be calling them out. So there's always a chance.
Okay, Jack. So many thanks for the time and for conversation. I hope that your next this year will be as successful as last year, and I hope that you will get another finishes in your fights.
Perfect. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate your time. Cheers, my man.